So I'm making some changes to the hand, and I've learned a little thing or two about this. So in the IK solver, I didn't know this, but you can actually, I've always been adding constraints to these bones, but you can put, when you click on the bone icon here, there's an inverse kinematics bit where you can limit the X, Y, and Z location and add some stiffness and lock other things, etc. And so now I've got it so I don't have any pull targets at all, and I can just grab these controls and move them around, and the finger does more or less the right thing. Now there are some, I did think, alright, well you can't move your fingers too far back, and so I'm going to limit it so you can't bring it back, say like that. But when I did that, then it became unstable at that limit, and so I can't do that. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the ability to put the fingers in some crazy position that you can't do. So like before, well, unlike before, I had in my tutorial, you'll see that I have some stretch to or some damp track constraints, etc. for this, but on here I've got an actual IK solver on this bone here. I've got an actual IK with a chain length of 2, and so I can move the thumb around using IK now as well. I'm probably going to go, because you've got problems like this, the mesh looks rather crap inside there, I'm probably going to go ahead and add the double joints in every finger as well to make those deforms look a little bit better. And actually maybe I should give that a shot right now. So if we take, say, this bone right here, I'll try it all on all the bones at once and see what happens. Armature, subdivide, then let's take that, each one of these small lines here, move them down, not like that there. And I'll take each one of these bones, move them down into the knuckle. And then I'll make sure they're straight. And I do want them a bit on the inside. And actually these all look a little bit large. So I'm going to make them a bit smaller there. Turn that right there. And then we have to take each one of these IK solvers and make them 3 instead of 2. And let's grab one of these and see what it looks like. I suppose I've got to repair at the armature. Do I have a limit on the rotation for this one? Inverse kinematics, limit X, -105. I suppose that should be now more like -120. Nope, I don't think so. -105. Negative. I bet it's supposed to be 52. Right. And now that one needs to copy the rotation more like full copy of the rotation plus some duplicate. And I suppose the next one could be only 0.5. Alright, so it looks like this joint needs to be a little bit shorter here. I do believe that's making those deforms better already though. Alright, so got to duplicate that, make it 0.25. Oh wait, what was it? 0.25. got to take that, duplicate it, 25. Take that, duplicate it, make 25 on the strength. Alright, so now we've got all our fingers set up correctly. Yes, I think that makes those joints look much better. So I think I'm going to stick with that. I suppose I do need to move it in closer to the knuckle though, or closer to the inside of the hand, is what I mean there. Before I do, let me take care of this one as well. So this one, we're supposed to be having that happen there in that area, so take that, put it down about there, take that thing, put it down about there, now that right, so in this case this is the final knuckle here, so this one already copies the rotation, so I'm going to take this one and copy the rotation for that as well, only of the X, adding local space, and then let's see how it looks. Looks pretty awful. Alright, because I haven't. And this here, this control needs to be here. So cursor to selected, selection to cursor. Let's take this. Oh, I cannot select that at all. There we go. Alright, now we want the parent automatic weight so that bone starts getting some of the weight in that area. Okay, so now I think I want to take all of this stuff down here and put it down here in the bottom part of the thumb. There. Take that part and also put it further into the hand. Alright, so that's not working quite like I wanted, because we've got the geometry right here that is supposed to be for the bend of the thumb. Perhaps all this needs to be moved up. My goodness, it's very hard to select those bones right there and not this one right here. There we go. Got it. Alright then, so we're going to have some trouble with this one, I can see. I wonder if I take it up, put it up here, then grab this mesh and move it, if that would work. Doesn't look bad. This is it back in the default pose, and it doesn't look like it's an awful situation. Maybe it'll be fine. Alright, let's grab it, put it up here. Parent, automatic weights, and see if it breaks everything again. Nope, that actually looks about right. Sometimes you just got to do a little bit of vertex tweaking and everything will be great. Okay, let's take a look again at these fingers here and see how they look. I think the final knuckle on these we can go ahead and leave alone because that's a lot of work. I just wanted to do it here on this bit here. I guess we got to bring that back towards the inside there. Alright, so let's take each one of these knuckle bones, move them in a little bit here. Then we've got to take all of the finger ones and do the same thing. I suppose the very ends here. Should go a little bit down towards the bottom side of the finger. Let's take that. Right, because I haven't done this bit yet. Alright. Okay, now this one. There we go. So now the question is, it's going to look alright. First we'll pose it before reparenting. Then we'll do parent with automatic weights and then see how things change. Changed a little bit, not much. This finger right here probably needs to be pulled in a little bit here. Alright, let's unpose it, see how it looks. Not too bad. So that should be alright. Let's take a look at that again. So we bring the controller up. Let the fingers squeeze together. I suppose also it might be good to turn on the subdivision to 1, but I haven't bound her clothing to her. Oh, I suppose she's in the default pose, it would be alright. Alright, let's change the subdivision to 1 and then see what happens. Definitely slows things down. Right, so it stops the pinching, or I should say it stops the mesh from going into itself quite so much there. So that's a little bit better. Let's take this right here and bring this bit down here like that. Let's unpose her and see how that looks. So that's this bit up here. Needs to be more puffy, so probably the same thing with this one right here. Needs to be more puffy. And this one right here, let's give it some puff. And finally this bit right here, give it some puff. Alright, now let's turn that subdivision back off again so we can see what it looks like without. Grab this. Right here we go. Looks pretty good. I'm not looking at the part where the hand's going into itself, I'm just looking at the parts where it's still correct here. I suppose that's about as good as it'll get for this session. Just wanted to show you what's going on with the hands, do a little hand work while you're watching. Thanks for watching, and let's catch up on the next session, alright?